we are live. Or at least I believe we are. Yep. So we are live. I will put this into announcements as we go. Here we go. I think there's also a Lobby B stream going up from WAC at some point as well. But yeah, we're just waiting for a few people to join. Started a little bit earlier. Started about 10 minutes earlier than normal. Stream will hopefully go we'll go on the 8 o'clock mark in the actual lobby itself, hopefully. Get the sheets up. I need to double check a few things. Make sure that a couple of drivers haven't actually driven already this season. Let's see. So Oak's got a choice of car. He'll go in the Mac. New Cameron's not driving, so everything else is fine. Where is the group? I know what team I'm looking for. Yeah, Ian is the only one that hadn't actually chosen a car, so each other the Z4. You know what? That probably checks out. Probably makes sense when it comes to this track, to be completely honest with you. Danny C is M6. Yeah, everything else should be as it was. Just double checking that Ian actually hadn't chosen a car yet. We'll go through who's driving for who in a minute. BX just asking who Macho is. Yeah, Macho is Monkey, so that'll be the person serving the driving ban for the qualifying ban for NWR. So it's going to be a very first time in a very long time that NWR will not have 3 cars in the in the top lobby. But yeah, well, as for the person asking who's just what the car selection looks like in esports, so each team gets 3 car selection. They can't choose the Aston Martin Vantage B12 because they are, well, everyone agreed there was 2 European should be banned, so it was banned. So outside of that car, everyone gets 3 rain. Each team can only choose 2 of any given car, though. So you can only have 2 Citroens, you can only have 2 Z4s, so forth and so forth. Yeah, just give me 1 second. Jensen just asked me if he needs if someone needs to be involved. We're just waiting for a couple of seconds. Well, there literally is just Monkiss in this room that we don't have. No, it's fixed. You don't have to announce anymore. We used to do it. We used to have it where you had to announce them before the season or in the week lining up to before they actually went on the track. But now you don't have to announce them at all. But as soon as you use a car, you are then locked into that car for the remainder of the season, however many races that ends up being. Give me 1 second. But yeah, that is what it is. Just making sure that Jensen knows his. Right, just put that to Jensen. That way we're good to go. I think that means that Monkeys is probably going to join us and join us in lobby 8 anyway. Yeah, and he has done. Has he? Nope, bottle spark to the left. I'll just tag him real quick. Also need to figure out whether or not Whack is currently streaming. I'm just putting up the announcement real quick. There's a lobby? I can't type, apparently. Yeah, alright. Yeah, Alessandro needs me to hold on. Just to go in a couple of other things that we get to go and then get through. Max just put up the Lobby B stream in the chat. If anyone wants to wishes to watch that, for now, that won't have comms on it. But Wack is going to stream the perspective of Lobby B for anyone who needs, anyone who ends up in there. I know I'm Lobby A. Wax, Lobby B in there as well. My turn's in Lobby C now. Just making sure everyone's good to go. We're waiting on bottle sparks now. What do I reckon Paul will be? That's a good question. Peter Lennon's replacing Sparks. Looks like a last minute substitution there for proper ITM then. So we'll figure that out. They can figure that out as we go along. Yeah, so you got lobby A here. I'm just going to put up the stream on my phone so I can get all the comments back. Hopefully everyone's finding me. Finding my audio all right. I don't know actually. So we've done a race around here. Not so well, actually recently, because we did it at the start of the season in Monday League, and I would assume the 35s would be where we were there. Something tells me we're looking low 34s. Low 34s, potentially the high end of the 33s, I reckon. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case for a lot, actually. It looks like BX has had a good start. Wait and see. A few people on the medium tires and all that. We'll wait and see. And maybe I'm being a bit overzealous there. Maybe I am being a little bit overzealous. No, I don't know. I remember it being a lot quicker than it was prior, but a lot quicker than it seemingly is. But yeah, actually no. I have. This is one of the ones that I don't actually know at all. If you think I reckon Jensen probably could get into the low 34s. I reckon. That's what my guess is. I reckon the low 34 is probably where I'm going to put it. But I have no idea where the cutoff is going to be. Cutoff is probably going to be in the 35s in some way. Let's do the lightweight K Cup. You're gonna have to give me a bit of a heads up there, DRS. I don't actually know what that is. We're going now. It's 5 past. They've had more than enough time to get themselves into position. Oh, the menu book. Oh, no. I've done all the menu books I need to do. I've more than done all the menu books that I need to do at this point. Until they bring out something tagged to the end of the menu books, I'm good. I finished the actual original game off them. I won't be continuing them any further. Welcome to the 60 people who joined in Lobby A. There is a Lobby B qualifying as well. It's in the Esports chat at the moment if your team is in there. But we're going to continue we're about to start watching Lobby A's qualifying here. Downforce is going to be interesting around this track. This track is just straight chicane, and not a lot of overtaking is going to happen. So qualifying is going to be a massive point here. I wonder how it's going to play out realistically. But yeah, it's a massive situation. NWR will have a driver in Lobby B or Lobby C for the first time this season. So this is massive. If Aero GT or Project Platypus can get all three into Lobby A, can get a good run in this, maybe go after Jensen, then we might see the gap start to shrink, which would be a good sign for the championship going through the halfway point. NWR again in control after week 3. I have to wait and see whether or not they continue to be in control, as much control afterwards. BX getting a lot of that curb on the exit of the final corner. I reckon the Z4s are going to be the biggest problem for anyone here, to be if I'm completely honest with you. There'll be a massive level of 100% the best car around here, without a shadow of a doubt. I am surprised at the lack of the lack of a Porsche. I expected somebody to at least attempt the new Porsche that came out on Thursday. Maybe too soon for a couple of drivers. For those who aren't aware and just stick strictly to esports when it comes to ALR and watching the ALR streams, we also did an 8 hours of Watkins Glen yesterday for the Mind charity. That donation link should still be up somewhere on the channel if you wish to contribute to that. It was a very fun day, going through everything and all that. We raised a ton of money. We raised the most we've ever done for the charity yesterday. So it was a good day all round the league. For everything, to be honest with you. But yeah, now we go with esports today. So just thought I'd bring that up, just to make sure everyone is aware of that. I think that donation link is going to be live for a couple of weeks post yesterday. So just a heads up. Also, for those who are currently in the stream, you get a little bit teaser now. I'm going to be dropping the calendar. For those who watched last week, who don't know this, I'm going to be dropping the calendar on the end of this stream. It's 34-7 for BX and a 36-3 for Alessandro, 35-8 for Cameron, 35-6 for Mortal, Keplero, 36-2. See that end straight away is literal first lap on, most likely 36-8, 37-3 for Oak. It looked like Aura did a 34-8, so it looked like we're not going to get very much from the group at the start in terms of heading toward the low 34. Jensen's bouncing around a bit. I am getting out of his way. 35-6 for Inkyo there. Well, BX on the board to start with then. So BX is going after pole position. Aura is right behind him. Jensen yet to set a proper lap though. Quite frankly, I don't think anyone with a 36 has set a viable lap at this point. I think there's still a lot of time for those guys to find in this track. It's a very new track. Came in as part of Spec 3. So people aren't going to know it as well as maybe, I don't know, last week when we went and did, I can't remember what we did last week at this point. Everything's been a blur for the last 7 days trying to go through the charity race. But I did Seaside. It was Seaside last week. There you go, got it eventually. But yeah, it was Seaside last week. The people will know that a lot more. Def Chicane is a lot more known to the GT7 fan base anyway, than anything else. Aura and Astro are currently running at it. Alessandro 35-1 in the Z4. Aura is going to pull out the way of Astro, who's currently doing a 35-9. Is there an improvement in Joey? No, there is not! Or is he caught it right at the end? I am extremely surprised he caught that. That looked like a mare. And there is an improvement either way for Aero GT. Astro did not get that right in the slightest. Jensen 35-7, 36-6 there for Danny C, and Iron needs to find a little bit more pace here. Who's the next one to the line? It looked like BX, but he's got a half-second penalty, so wouldn't be too surprised if he looks to bail on this lap. It's Alessandro after that. A little bit of a scrape with the wall there in the third sector for BX. Alessandro not doing much better, picked up half a second as well. That's the end of his lap for this. Is he improving? No, he was not. He's right on the cusp of where he was prior. Let's have a look. Aura and we'll go with Aura, and we'll go with the Aero GT boys here in their laps, trying to get themselves toward the front. If they can get themselves toward the front, it could be them versus Project Platypus today, which would be massive news for everyone else. Oak with Oak in front of Aura. Aura's going to pick up the slipstream from Oak here down the back straight, all the way down to the Wall of Champions. Mortal currently in the pits. There we go. Aura is following Oak all the way down at the moment. Is there a pit stop? No, there is not. He's getting himself nicely poised. The Citroen should be extremely good around here. It was earlier on in the season for me. 35-8 there for Keplero, puts him up in the 7th. Oak did a 36-9. Astro 35-6, 35-2 for Jensen, 35-5 for Iron, who's just got himself a little bit further forward. Zani with a 35-8, and the times are starting to tumble down behind now. Who's the next one to the line? That is Inkyo. Didn't really improve on his 35-6. Who is the next one after that? Danny C needs to find a little bit of pace. Not really got anything at the moment. On an out lap. Just about to finish, just about to start his out lap. There's Alessandro and BX in the background. Who's the closest one to the line here? The answer is Cameron, but he is on an out lap. So he will go back to number 1 here and number 3 with Alessandro currently ahead of BX on his lap. The Z4 helping Alessandro right now because we had 4 different teams in the top 4. And for once, NWR is not leading a session. Monkeys took their qualifying ban, so arguably their fastest driver on this track may have elected to sit the qualifying session and try and work his way through Lobby B and Lobby C to try and win that. And it does mean Jensen Iron's going to fight out here. BX, no improvement. Alessandro, no improvement. 34.7 is currently the fastest lap of the qualifying session so far. 35.0 is currently Lobby B pole. 36.0 for PZN. First few laps of the day. Improvements for Oak. 36.8. Nothing going for Aero GT. Iron does improve. 35.1. Jensen does not. So Iron moves up into 4th. Jensen into 5th. It didn't look like there was anything for Mortal Ivory. Just starting a flying lap. Who's the next one to the line? Inkyo after that. Inkyo did a 35.6. That'll move him up into 8th. He actually only improved by 0.02 of a second, so he's more than sticking in 8th than anything else. Looking further back, I think that is Cameron. Oh no, it's not. It's Danny C after that, and then Cameron on the back of it. 36.3 for Danny C. Needs to find a lot of time. About Cameron, who's currently looking to try and put something together for Liberation Cabin. The second driver on the team at the moment with Danny in 9th. A little bit shaky on the exit there, the Wall of Champions chicane. Down to the line goes Cameron. It's not a good time. I was about to say that is not going to be comparatively good in any way, shape or form. 8.58 is his best time up to this point. Which means it's BX and Alessandro. We go back to BX and Alessandro at the front of the grid. Have they improved down the line now? Alessandro will cross it first. BX will cross it second. It's not going to be improvements for either driver. They are struggling to find the extra time. A lot of slipstream kicking in behind them. Like Oak still ahead of Aura on track. Kepler 35.4 puts him back in 7th. Then up into the 35s. Aura is going to try to the line now. Here's the final lap. He's gonna be done then. That's going to be it for him. 34.8 isn't able to actually beat him out then. Jensen up in a 3rd with 35.0. Alessandro's still on the track. BX is still on the track, but I think BX has just got a penalty. Inkyo's gone to the line with 35.1. All of a sudden, Cameron's got a penalty. They're gonna struggle to try and find improvements here. BX could actually have pole for Project Platypus here. If there isn't an improvement on Lobby B or Lobby C, it could be massive. Alessandro currently dipping into the 34s. If he can keep this in the final sector, he'll need to double that time to realistically put himself on pole or within shot of pole. It looks like the 34.7 is not getting beat. Alessandro down to the Wall of Champions chicane. He needs to execute this perfectly, realistically, to get himself on pole for ITM in the Z4. Down to the line he goes then. 1, 2 corners, all the way down. Is it improvement on the cars for Alessandro? It looks like it will be. The question is how much? 33, 34, 35, 34.9 is enough for 3rd, but it's not enough to go any higher. Which means BX, provided there isn't a miracle, he's going to round himself out for pole position. Kepler over. PZN to the line now as well. 35.8 for him. Stays in 12th. Not able to beat Cameron. That looks like we may have a 34.7 on pole, and I may have been a little bit overzealous in the actual in the chat beforehand. But now if we go to the Discord, figure out what's going on here. 34.7 for BX is an absolute electric lap. In Lobby C, who did we have on pole? We had a 35.5. 35.5 on pole for Lobby C. That will take him In between Kepler and Astro, that might actually be enough for them to get Lobby A out of that. Does not look like a lot of pace outside of that. And two drivers potentially in Lobby A. Looks like Lobby B. We got Ahmed on the 35-0, 35-3 for Panic Potato. Which will put him just ahead of Mortal. And they'll put Ahmed, what, 046, right behind Jensen in 5th. That could be very interesting. We're going to get a couple of drivers through here. Latari on a 35-7. I don't know if that's enough. It might be. It's going to be close. Outside of the top two in Lobby B's qualifying, the rest were very much right beside each other. So I'm very intrigued to see realistically what actually has happened to the actual grid order. So it looks like, can we get through here? How many are we going to get? So it's going to be 2 from Lobby B at least. I think you're going to get 2 from Lobby C as well. 3 from Lobby C potentially. Because they're all ahead of Zanny. So if we get the 15 here, there's already going to be a position gain for Ahmed. I think the bottom 4 are all going to lose their spot. Maybe Zanny as well. 821. I don't know, you know. I think he is going to lose it. 805 there for Capel. Latari should get it as well. I think if you're in a 35-8, I think you might be lost. I think you might be knocked out of this Lobby A. Geo definitely in. I am intrigued at the fact that they're not really a blistering time out there compared to the rest of the group. It's going to be a very, very close-knit race potentially, which I did not see coming at all. Iron is in 5th, so though him and Jensen will be safe. It looks like NWR are going to get 2 into this lobby, which is what we expected, realistically. Even with Moncus's qualifying ban that he's currently serving for that team. So it could be very interesting to see how everything else plays out. I think there's going to be 2. Yeah, I think Oak's gone. Oak is definitely gone. So is Danny C. They are definitely gone. If you put up a 36, you're not making Lobby A. The real question is, which side of the 35-8 does that line fall on? That's the big one. Which side of the line does the 35-8 of 35-8 does this top 15 really lie on? I couldn't tell you. I really could not tell you. If you are quicker than a 35-8, you will be Lobby A. I'm almost certain of it. I don't know, you know. I don't know which side of the... I don't know whether or not Zanny's safe. I don't think Cameron is. I just don't know whether or not Zanny's safe. Aries finally got into Lobby A for the first time in 4 seasons, apparently. Which, if that is the actual stat, that's a fairly impressive stat. Ahmed has joined the room. I'm just very quickly taking the screenshots of these, just so I have everything that I need. We'll actually bounce out of this and that race with there. Give people a second or two to go back out on the lap or on the track if they want to. That it's not electing me to save qualifying is a bad sign for whether or not I'm going to be able to save the race in its own right. Hurricane has already tried to taunt Aries. BX pole. I don't remember the last time we saw a BX pole in esports. Legitimately do not remember the last time we saw esports for a pole for BX. So it's BX from Oren 2nd, Alessandro 3rd, Jansen 4th, Ahmed 5th, Iron 6th, Aries 7th, Panic Potato 8th, Mortal 9th, Kepler 10th, Saitam in 11th, Apollo in 12th, Astro 13th, Beragods in 14th, and TNR Latari. So the answer is a 35.732. The answer is 35.732. I didn't actually say the line. I didn't know which side of the line. That of the 0.8 line. They would fall on the answer. It actually had to be quicker than the 35.8 because the two drivers currently in first on pole in both Lobby B and Lobby C have the 35.8s on their times, so they are probably going to feel a little bit hard done by with that. Don't black screen it. Thank you. I have the game is giving me nightmares recently with the amount of little bit of glitching, especially in the lobbies. Has been doing to me recently. And it comes the South Africans, Latari and Panic Potato, both from TNR, both of them in Lobby 8. They've got a lot of work to do. Looks like someone has just asked for me to be my friend. There you go. Probably needed that. Yeah, Terror in Lobby A. Yeah. It has happened. It is the guy that I very much expected to be here. I'll be honest with you. It's the guy I expected to have made Lobby A more than what he's already done. I've raced with Apollo before. I expected a little bit more from him this season, but I know what he's capable of. I definitely know what he's capable of. He's in the 296 here. Alright, looks like Lobby B and Lobby C are trying to figure out what they're doing. V-Crapper in here as well. With Beragoz. Two new teams into this lobby for the first time this season then. Left it a little bit late to get their stuff going if they wanted to make it to the top 5, but a late start is better than never. That's a certain. We are missing someone. Pretty sure we're missing someone anyway. It's supposed to be a 15 person lobby outside of myself, not including myself. So who is it that we are missing? I think it's Saitam. I don't know who's his, what's his PSN? Not what's his PSN, sorry. His Discord. Let's have a look. I don't actually know what's his Discord is. ZFN, side 1030, 46. Not actually in the Discord, I don't think. That's going to be problematic. Just trying to figure out. Alright, I've tagged him. Let's see what we're gonna have to give him a minute or two. But I don't think he's actually in the Discord, which is a problem. If he has been added, I have not seen him. I don't have any Discord tag for him either. I have added him. Did just make sure that I have. Yeah, I have added him. I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what to tell people at the moment. Just trying to figure out where he is. Is he in? He did. Beautiful. Got there eventually, but he did get in. Right, apologies for that. We're just trying to get him in. He's in now. We're good to go. I have to chase somebody for him. This is somewhat massive then. This is somewhat massive. 2 new teams into the lobby, first time out. Got 2 TNR drivers in here. A few other teams are just starting to rear their heads a little bit. Should probably have kept Discord open. I know it's BX first. That's as good as I can get. BX first, and it's over in second. And then it's Alessandro in third. Where is he? ITM there. Then it is Jensen in fourth. Then it's Ahmed in fifth. It's Iron in sixth. Then it is Aries in seventh. Panic in eighth. I think it's Mortal P9. Kepler P10. Good race, good qualifying for him. Maybe the best one we've seen from him in esports for a while. Then side 10 after that. Then it's Apollo. Then it's Berrigards, and then it's Latari. Alright. Here we go. It's 34. Go at 34 on the clock. Hope everyone is ready for some racing. 47 laps around the track. When it goes to 44 on the clock, that'll give everyone an extra minute or so to make sure they're on the right tyres, to make sure that they're in the right places, and got all the strategies and everything sorted. And we currently have about 30 seconds until go time. No, it cannot rain in the North Americans for some reason. Actually, it can't rain in the Americas at all. Don't ask me why. I've never understood it. It can't rain on any track in the North American, in the Americas at all. Or Brands Hatch. Or Seaside from last week, but you don't want to get me started on that one. Alright, that shows me a 34, my clock being a couple of seconds quick, which means we get to go and start this race now then. One last check on that. Nope, not even in Lagos. Evening then. Yeah, not even in Lagos. It's simply just flat out across the board. No rain in the American continent at all. Alright, here we go. About to get started. We're a GT on second. Project Platypus first, and they are both teams that need an electric race to catch up on NWR. And it's 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go. Citroen or Viper to the first corner. Who's going to get a better start? It looks like the Citroen got a better start, but the Viper just about holds on enough. The Citroen on the inside. Aura straight away to the inside. Gets him. And Aura takes the lead of the race from BX on the first turn. Well, technically turn 3 at Canada, I guess. But on the first lap of the race, now BX has got to fight him back. Straight into the wall he goes. Alessandro's got to find a way past. Everyone's seemingly made it through the first couple of corners without many problems. It's mediums for Aura, mediums for BX, and for Alessandro. Soft for Armin in 4th, mediums for Jensen in 5th, and for Iron in 6th. And then we've got Inky on mediums in 7th, and Mortal in 8th now, who's got ahead of a couple of drivers. I think that might have been Panic who had a bad start. It would have been Panic who had a bad start. He drops very low very quickly. There are a couple of cars that don't have deliveries loaded up. I apologise for that. I need to go and delete a couple of bits of storage after this. Yeah, not against anyone straight away. It's just I apparently didn't have enough storage. Jensen is lagging all over the place on my screen. That is not a good sign. Jensen usually isn't that bad on the connection. That's when it is to me on these weeks. He's again right beside Ahmed, side by side as they head towards the World Championship chicane. Jensen tucks back in ahead of the Saudi Arabian driver. Well, Saudi Arabian on game, Bosnian in real life. As he goes down towards the final corner, out the World Champion, down towards turn 1. Jensen still has advantage for now. Ahmed on the inside of turn 2. There isn't really going to get too much against him, apart from Iron, who's going to get him on the inside, potentially, on the exit in the Z4. That Z4 has an electric acceleration, and it'll do Ahmed in. And for the moment in time, Iron up in a 5th, makes that first chicane an absolute blunder. Ahmed didn't do much better. Inkio's going to have a go at him now. Or is he? Because Ahmed is right after Iron. Iron getting a little bit swallowed up there. Getting sandwiched. Inkio may have just helped Ahmed out or hindered him. I'm not entirely sure which one that was. He did bump Iron on the way through. And I think Inkio may have just picked them both off. Inkio has just picked them both off. He's up in a 5th for now. They're going to go side by side into the chicane. Inkio on the inside line. Inkio's going to get himself ahead. Going to get himself ahead then. So Ahmed drops to 6th. Iron is in 7th now. Kepler and Mortal fighting for 8th. But they go side by side into the hairpin. That looks very deep for Berigos, who somehow gets that stopped. I am not sure how he has managed to get that stopped, but he has. And the Finnish driver overtakes the Swede. I just don't know if that was luck or skill. Kepler against Mortal. Kepler is still ahead of Mortal after the hairpin. Kepler tucks back in, heading toward the World Champions ahead of the Project Platypus car. Don't forget, NWR has one driver less in this lobby. The only problem is, Project Platypus only have 2 in this lobby as well. I think Aero GT only has 2, so this is literally just got... Oh, that didn't look good! That didn't look good at all! Side may have just got into the side of Berigos there. I'm not entirely sure if we can get a replay because everyone and anyone is right beside each other in the back of the field here. Perlu is currently ahead of Saitan. Saitan may have just gave Berigos his place back. Astro's just clobbered straight into the back of him. But somehow Berigos is alive. Astro lost out. It is carnage in the back of the field. The Swedes have not got off to a good start in Canada in the slightest. Another wall bang there for Astro as side 10 now looks to go to the side of him. And on the inside, in the Citroen, should get a better advantage into the chicane and will have 13th place back then. Sweet on sweet action in 13th. Atari at the back of the field needs to recover very quickly. Iron got a half-second penalty ahead of Kepler, ahead of Mortal, so he'll drop him off the back of these two, well, behind these two, and he'll drop him back to 9th. Bring Apollo into it as well. If I am botching anybody's name, please let me know. Looks like someone just elected to take their penalty by going over the grass. Iron has lost out to 1. He might be under fire for Mortal here. Yeah, he has lost out to Mortal as well. The Mortal's going to go straight after Kepler. Oh, Iron's got into the pits. Oh, okay. That's an interesting call. That's a call I wasn't quite expecting this early on, if I'm completely honest with you. Off the mediums early. Oh, that didn't look good. I'm not sure if Apollo nearly dropped the car there. I think he did. The Ferrari didn't look too straight, I'll tell you that much. I just don't know which one it was. Almost dropped it in the exit of turn 3. Paddy Potato is all over Apollo now. This definitely was Apollo that almost crashed his car then. So it looks like the South African is going to go straight after him. Are we going to get a potential overtake? Apollo is a little bit skittish all over these curves right now. And Potato is just taking an extra second or 2 to get his car lined up to try and make a push on the Ferrari in front of him. Opiolu. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. This is Opiolu then. Okay. Aura is currently in the lead of this race, and he is a significant amount ahead. He's 1.2 at the moment. Him and BX have got themselves an advantage to Alessandro and Jensen. Iron was already pit. He did start at the front beside Jensen, but not really kept it going. He's on an alternate strategy to the rest of the group now. So that's the state of play at the front. 4 different teams at the front. 4 at the moment. Want to go a little bit further back. Even 5th and 6th had different teams in those positions as well. Kepler for ITM is the first repeat. Continue on here. Inkio's kind of bottlenecking the group a little bit in 5th, where the front 4 have got themselves off to a massive advantage. I wonder if there's going to be any sort of push for Ahmed to try and get past Inkio, because he's just Esports. It's not the same Ahmed you're thinking of. He used to drive, I think it was Tier 1, when he did Monday, if I remember right. He's definitely been Esports for a large period of time now. Looks like Ahmed is very much just trying to keep himself right at the back of Inkio. The Citroen's acceleration doing the Merc over quite heavily at the moment. See it up and down the grid. The Citroen's acceleration is just a perfect suit for this track. I think he did do Mondays at one point. It hasn't been in a long time though. Mortal still on the back of Kepler. He is really trying to push the boat here. About 4/10 of a second between him and Kepler. They fight for 7th at the moment. There's a couple of drivers ahead, still fighting for their positions as well. Opiolu has got himself about 3/10 of a second advantage right now. Hello, Viking. Opiolu's got about 3/10 of a second, now 6/10 of a second, actually doubled that advantage to Panic Potato out of turn 3. The Vipers don't seem to be struggling at all. Mortal doing well. Kepler done well. This is probably the best I've seen Kepler in a long time. VX is right on the... VX hasn't really lost touch with Aura either, in which is probably a significantly better car track combo for this kind of situation. The Viper doesn't suck in low speed corners though. It sucks in the cornering, but its acceleration is up there. Like, really up there. It is extremely difficult to take out a Viper. Especially if you're in a Merc or something of that nature. You'd have to take him in a corner rather than on a straight. Or even on the exit of a corner, because the Viper does have great acceleration. It just sucks at corner. As BX is about to find out, though, he's almost scraping the wall a little bit. Alessandro just cutting in just a little bit. He's definitely in the best car for this situation, is Alessandro. He's got a little bit of work to do to catch up to BX. If I don't win Lago tomorrow, I'll be astonished. You'll be astonished, don't worry. To put it into perspective, I haven't won a race at Lago since season 8. It is one of my only 2 wins, but even then that was a fluke. Honestly, both of those 2 races that I won ended up being flukes. We'll take the second from last week though. Alessandro still ahead of Jensen in the group here. He is losing track to BX just a little bit. Keep gaining in the exits. No idea. You definitely haven't. Yeah, but if you say I've got the best car, that also means Wack's got the best car. Wack is quicker than me. Yeah, it's changed now. I don't know why it was showing that. He was 3/10 of a second behind Jensen on the last lap. Six seconds ahead of Inkyo, still ahead of Ahmed, and then you've got Kepler who's ahead of Morton and Opiolu in behind that with Panic Potato in 10th. All of these guys still within 1 second of each other, all the way from 5th all the way through 10th. Realistically, yeah, 10th with Berigos ahead of Saitem right now, and then Astro and Latari off the back of them. Don't forget, Iron is last, but Iron has already pit. They only want to do so through the first 7 laps, and now after a stream for Aero GT is going to follow him. It'll be the second one into the pits off the medium tyres then. I am intrigued. I still think people are going to two-stop this. The real question is how. I think they're going to maybe soft it from here. There's only 47 laps. It's not particularly deep. Oh, Berigos is in the wall! Berigos is in the wall! And Latari will go back. He is struggling to keep the car together with damage to the rear left. Berigos is all over the place. He is struggling to keep it together. We saw it, got it right in the front of the camera. And now he's going to drop quite heavily backwards then. We go a little bit further forward again. This group still trying to fight each other at the point of the bottleneck and fifth right now. Kepler can get to the back of Ahmed. He might be able to help Ahmed through because the rest of this group are all in trouble. Ahmed might be in the biggest bit of trouble though. He's on the soft tires right now and he cannot get past Inkyo for anything. Citroen acceleration is holding Ahmed at bay. Very heavily here actually. Oh, so yeah, that might be a commentator's curse there. That might be an excellent exit for Ahmed. We'll say wait and see. Is that anything? No, it isn't. Ahmed is still too far away to make a move stick. By the looks of it, it looked like a two-stop. It looked like people were just going to soft off after this stop. Oh, Kepler sliding just a little bit down in the back of the shot. Gonna have to keep it a little bit more under control than that. Piolo is currently on the back of this train. Hoping there are going to be some moves in the near future. But yeah, by the way the field's looking, you might get what, 13, maybe 12, 13 laps, maybe in a similar vein of what Watkins was yesterday. Oh, here comes Ahmed, looking to the inside, doesn't go for it properly though. Mikio's getting nicely over that second curb. Ahmed has got a much better exit, but it isn't going to be an exit enough to really pull anything on the Citroen. He's going to have to find his way through a corner to pass this Citroen, because he's going to struggle on the exits. The longer they go, the worse it gets. They're now 7 seconds off the back of Jensen. Alessandro has cleared Jensen for now as well. That is not good news for NWR. The top three are just driving away. BX has still kept Aura honest for the first 10 laps of this race, and 1.2 seconds seems to be where that gap is stabilizing. Definitely honest. Okay, so we have a couple of strategy calls here then. Opiolu and Moltel are into the pit. Moltel has significantly more fuel than Opiolu does. I wonder if there's going to be... what's going to happen here then? Panic had pitted the lap prior, so he's trying to undercut. Mortal's gone with a lot less fuel than the company is with. Mortal's gone onto soft. Opiolu onto soft as well, going early. That is Panic Potato ahead. Panic Potato's coming out. Panic Potato's going to beat Mortal out. Okay, so this just got interesting. So Panic Potato had beaten Mortal out. He's beaten Opiolu out as well. This is net positions gained for Panic Potato then. They are still quite significantly behind Iron. Inkyo. Oh, Inkyo's made a mistake! Inkyo's made a mistake to get damage to the front. I wonder if we can get a good camera angle on that. If it will actually let me. Apparently it will not. That's a shame. So Inkyo's got damage. He dropped heavily off the back then. Just making sure we've got the ability to actually have a functioning keyboard. Aries off the... So Aries made a mistake then. Jensen has also made a mistake. One we again not going to be able to see. For some reason I don't have the ability to do replays. For some, I don't know why. But he is off the track. So NWR just had a massive hit then. Jensen has damage. Well, Inkyo is obviously live racing cabin, but they were both having pretty decent races. Jensen was still on the lead, fight for the lead of the race. Oh, Ahmed having a bit of a problem now. Ahmed having a problem. Kepler to the inside. Into the chicane they'll both go. They're side by side. Ahmed should still have advantage. Ahmed will still have advantage, but that Viper's exit should be a lot better. It would be if Kepler could actually not hit grass. Now Kepler is going to have to dive back to the outside of the chicane again. He isn't even going to get himself alongside this time, and Ahmed is going to be safe for now. So Ahmed is in 4th, Kepler is in 5th. Saitan's right here as well in 6th. He has got himself caught all the way back up. There's a massive, massive problem in the middle of the field here. A few drivers obviously pit. The other couple of drivers have not been able to keep it together. He exited into the pits. He actually had a very split-second lead over Aura by the looks of things. He was staying out at least one more. There's Alessandro 4 seconds off the back of the German driver. I know it says Russian on his name, but it's, I believe it's an alt account here for Aura. So it's he is definitely still German. Kepler is now under fire from Saitan then. Is there going to be anything in it for the Swede? We've got a few pit stops already. Iron has actually potentially beating BX out here. There's Iron. Is he going to get him? Is he going to get him? Iron has beat him out. He has undercut him massively. The problem is Iron potentially going to have to do something else. Like, oh! And just as I said he was undercutting him massively, he made a mistake. Just as he got, oh my god, it was perfect for him. Undercut the person in second of the race, got out in front of him. Would have put him right beside, already dropped it immediately. In comes Panic Potato to the inside. Iron has just dropped it and Panic Potato has gone on through. Turn 4 and 5 has claimed another victim. That is a jinx and a half. That's what that is. Wow. Oh, that's got to be gut-wrenching for Iron. Absolutely gut-wrenching. So as you see, the strategy may have started to work out, or it has at this point worked out extremely well. For it to dive off a cliff almost immediately is bad. Yeah, Montreal isn't getting banned, I can tell you that much. Oh, that's gonna suck. Well, it's Aura getting out ahead of BX, and the answer to that is quite comfortably. That's ever so slightly little less fuel than the Viper does. He is comfortably out ahead of BX this time. We have, what, 34 to the end then. There should be 2 stints of 17 for Aura. Ed's currently on his fastest lap of the race. Alessandro 3.6 back. Alessandro has a podium all but gifted to him now. Iron's got problems. Iron had a lot of problems. He's about to get absolutely obliterated here by Mortal on the exit of one of these corners. He's in trouble. It's a strategy gamble that did pay off for a split second. Quite literally a fleeting second is all it works for. But he's going to have to fight this back somehow. And NWR Day is not gone well. That's our second penalty as well, just to kick him out while he's down. What a lap this is. Disaster class of a lap here from Iron. Wow, Ahmed into the pit stand. Right, here's the penalty. Mortal just really getting himself in front there and just driving off into the distance for a little bit. Panic Potato next up for the Viper. Saitam into the pits, Ahmed into the pits. What tyres are they coming out on? I know that Ahmed was on soft to start. The answer is soft again for Ahmed. It's mediums for Saitam. He's going to come out ever so slightly ahead of Astro and Opiolu there. In the background, who's ahead of Latari. Caplaro is there as well. Inkyo in 14th, Ferragon in 15th. Going to be joined very quickly by Iron at this rate. Caplaro just about keeping it together out of turn 4. And 5. Astro's right on the back of Saitam. We're going to have sweet on sweet action again. The first time in about 10 laps. Here we go. Saitam trying to defend from Astro. That looked like a kick up of dirt ahead of us. Not sure if it was to bring anything though. Astro is a lot better over the curb there than what Saitam was. He's in trouble. I think there's a bit of a problem for Ahmed in front as well. Jensen to the inside. Jensen hanging it in. Ahmed's giving it so much room. Ahmed is not really going to fight that at all. Further back, it looks like Saitam's still holding Astro and Opiolu at bay for now. I wonder if that's going to continue on for the next lap or so. See Jensen just starting to recover a little bit. Saitan just all over the place. Astro wasn't much better. If I was Opiolu, there may be an opportunity here. Go to the inside of turn 2, you might have to deal with the outside of turn 3, so you have to pick your spot, you'll have to pick it wisely. Saitan's still leading out the 3 here. Opiolu's going to have to duck underneath. We'll try and keep it together on the exit. Astro cannot keep it together on the exit. Saitan will get a little bit of breathing room to deal with in the second of chicanes on the lap. I don't really know if that's the best way through it, but Saitan got it through it a little bit cleaner than what Astro did. They are bleeding time like it's going out of Bastion Ahmed. Saitan just seems to be able to hold Astro and Opiolu at bay for now, and I think that I believe that's Latari in behind him. Is it? Or is it? Yeah, it's Latari in behind him in the Ferrari. Into the hairpin then, as we continue on. Astro's going to have to get a good exit at some point. That's what he's going to have to be worried about. The Citroen is pretty good on the exit. We've already seen getting stuck behind a Citroen when you're on soft tyres isn't guaranteed overtake. You can ask Ahmed about that. Literally last stint, he tried to get past Inkyo and it didn't until Inkyo made a mistake. You see in the background there the liberated cabin car. Astro to the inside. I think he may have picked up something there. Saitan into the wall. Astro the head. Opiolu is going through as well. A little bit of carnage between the 3 drivers. I'm surprised Astro didn't get anything for cutting the inside of the wall champion chicane, but he is gonna take the position. This is gonna allow him and Opiolu to drive off in front. That didn't look good. Latari somehow caught it. Problem is for Saitan now is that the floodgates are open. The floodgates are open and Latari's gonna probably take advantage of that. Latari, however, going very deep. Going to set himself up for a very good exit, though, on the exit of the chicane. He'll keep himself in touch. Kepler is right there as well. Currently on a soft tyre. Inkyo on a soft. Berrigod's on a soft as well. BX is 2.2 off the lead. Alessandro 4.4 after that. Then Panic Potato currently sits himself in 4th. And I don't think he would have been able to expect that at the end of qualifying, that's for certain. He's just here for the ride and he's taken TNR along with him. Then it's Mortal, then it's Iron, who obviously made the gigantic error when he should be beside BX right now. The problem is for Iron, he might either have to do an extended mediums at the end of this race, which is going to be problematic, or he's going to have to do an extra soft, which is probably going to be worse. It's going to be very interesting to see what Iron's going to like to do now then. His stint's going to come to the end in the next couple of laps. Lap 20 is probably what he was aiming for. I just don't know what the call is. Mortal's a little bit sketchy on the exit of the corner. Avoided damage. Didn't look very convincing in any way, shape or form on the exit there. He's just trying to hang on to the back of Panic Potato. Panic Potato will take this kind of driving all day. That's a certain. Aura gaining about 4/10 of a second on BX, so it's just swinging, that pendulum swinging back and forth, but it's currently going in favour of Aura. Alessandro 4.1 off the back of BX as well. ITM could do with a good day at the office. They have, I believe, all 3 cars in this lobby. Iron going very deep against Mortal there. I'm not entirely sure you achieve what your intended purpose is with that kind of wide cornering. Nonetheless, he is still tacked onto the back of the Project Platypus car. A team that has a 2 and a 5 right now. The gap to NWR is potentially going to slow down. They're going to, be shortened by the end of week 4 at this rate. For those who are new here, we do 6 weeks before the top 5 qualify for the double points races for week 7 and week 8. They've got a lot to play for still. It's a lot to play for in turn, but some of these teams are going to have to start turning up sooner rather than later. Continuing on, Astro is still ahead of Opiolu. They have driven away from Kepler and company in the further back. Latari actually finds himself behind Inkyo now. Saitan still involved in the mix here as well. Can't imagine it being too long before he gets overtaken here. No real car difference, Citroen on Citroen here, between the Italian and the Swede. The problem is for the Swede is that one's on a medium tyre, the other one's on a soft. So, you know, when you don't really have that car advantage, you're going to have to defend something in a different way. The problem is, there's no real different way to defend it. I don't know if there was contact. It looked like they were bouncing off each other. Inkyo's going to have this. Or is he? He may have been a little bit of contact there as well. I feel Latari and Saitan both may have touched the back of the Italian. Either way, Inkyo's on through. Saitan is still there ahead of Latari. Beragos is trying to get himself involved as well. The Finnish driver has spent a lot of time at the back. And then you can see the Z4 in the back of your screen. Oh, Saitan got it wrong! Saitan got it very wrong! Oh, no, all of them are going to get damaged at that! Saitan to the wall! Irons had to get out of the way. Latari and Beragos got caught up. They both have damage as well. Irons going to go to the outside of turn 1. And then the inside of 2. And potentially have around the outside of 3 on Latari. Could not make it work. Latari, even with the damage front right, is going to, well, live to fight another day against Iron for now. That was a bit of carnage. Saitan lost it on the corner. Latari and Beragos were just wrong place, wrong time. Which is never a good sign. And then, obviously, those three are now right at the back. Inkyo's got the Italian, the Kepler in front of him. Not the same team, even though it is Italian Team Motorsport in the red, white and green, donning the Italian colours. And you got Opiolu there with Astro in front of him. Kepler is trying to get himself tacked onto the fight, but it's 4-8 at the moment. Iron may have been given a little bit of a lifeline because his strategy wasn't great. Well, hasn't been great so far anyway. We'll see how it continues to play out, but the undercut would have worked the first time. Oh, Jensen in the wall! Jensen in the wall! Damage to the front right. Oh, Jensen's made another error. 148.4 on the last lap. You can tell within the final corner there, the final chicane, the Wall of Champions is not being kind to him. It's not being kind to NWR at all in the slightest today, and they are in trouble. They are in massive trouble. If there is a day for someone like Aero GT or Project Platypus to take advantage, you're not getting a better chance than what you are right now. They already have one drive. All three teams have one driver in the lower two lobbies, so they have to just deal with that if they can. But in terms of the actual lobby A antics, NW are in trouble. Project Platypus currently have I think that's a 2.5. It is a 2.5 at the moment. Jensen dropped a long way down, so Aero GT now have a 1.7 as well. Doing significantly better than what NWR are doing. Points gap going to shrink a little bit by the end of the day. Opiolu has been stuck behind the Swede for what feels like an eternity. He needs one really good exit. He's in a car with much better cornering than the M6. We'll see if he's going to take advantage of that at some point. see Astro again just getting a little bit unsettled out of turn 3. He is really not enjoying too much on that rear end of the M6, that's for certain. He's gonna have to pick it, he's gonna have to do something. He did try to pick his moment for about 7 laps. Astro, again, it's not great on these exits. The turning circle on the M6 is not helping him out in the slightest. Opiolu needs to find a spot to take advantage of these mistakes, because he's making a lot of them. The only problem is that he's not really making a big enough mistake for Opiolu to make a real good shot at this. Well, with the way he's currently driving, you know there's one coming. You do know there is one coming. The problem is it going to come before the the Italian of Keplero gets behind him? He's right on the back of him now. 0.6 of a second for Keplero. Jensen is there as well, which is never a good sign for anybody. If you have the burgundy colours barreling down on you, that is never a good sign. And then Inkio in the back of the shot. Opiolu again just needs a good exit, realistically, to try and take a real good shot at the M6. It's not going to happen here. The straight line speed of the Ferrari isn't going to give him any help, so he's going to have to corner better than the car in front. Problem is, he's got a Viper behind him. The straight line speed is going to help him against both the cars in front of him. At that point, you're going to have to do something before you get swallowed up by the cars behind. About 0.4 of a second that split both all 3 cars here, and then Jensen closing back in as well. Oh, a little bit of a wall contact there for Astro. Is there going to be anything opening up as a result of that? Nope, another minute mistake for Astro that's just trying to tease that there's going to be something happening, but it's not really opening the door. That's a good exit from Opiolu. Again, it's just not close enough. Every time it looked like he'd get the door opened, it slammed shut by the Swede in front of it. Aero GT needs the points, so you desperately know that, and you can tell, well, Terra needs the points as well. This is the first time they've been in Lobby A all season. And the more that Opiolu can do, the better it is for that team trying to carve their way toward the top 5 if they can manage it. It would take one hell of a final couple of weeks. But, never say never. Jensen again, not really executing on the back. He may be, but the problem is he's not really doing it well. They're not really helping each other. All they're doing is like Kepler and Jensen behind them do more damage than they are going to do normally. Astro again on a bad exit. I think it's more Astro's helping Opiolu than the other way around. Wait and see if that continues to be the case. 0.8 of a second. If they can get away from Kepler, that'll be a job well done. But they have a glorious opportunity to do so now, though. The problem is that Vipe on a straight with Slipstream is just going to bring you right back in. Oh, that didn't look good. That might be a penalty. That might be too wide. Is that a penalty, or is he going to get away with that? He is going to get away with it. Okay, so the track limit's all the way on the inside, apparently. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out, because there's going to be a lot of difference in the fuel as well from all of these cars, but not really any opportunity that it overtake. Panic Potato has been overtaken by Mortal in the, oh, he just about saved it! Panic Potato looked really troubled there. Into the wall of champions, he was pretty much perpendicular to the track. He just about saved it. Just about gets away with it. Keeps it within arm's length for Mortal as well. Alessandro 5.2 off the back of BX. Not really doing anything to close that gap in at all. He's just content with third at this point, and Aura is 3.4 out in front, so that gap not really shrinking either. 35.2, the fastest lap for him so far. On the last lap, gained about 0.2 of a second on BX. Alessandro has the 35.0, which is currently the fastest lap of the race as a whole. ITM looking to pick up the extra couple of points in that regard. Every point matters at this point, this stage of the season. Just to give you as much of a setup as you possibly can find for that for those two double point races in week 7 and in week 7, week 8. ITM looking to build from what they've been doing. Mortal's got a half-second penalty. He'll bring Panic Potato right back to him after Panic Potato's mistake earlier in the, well, this time last lap. He's going to get a reprieve and be brought back to the Viper. It looks a lot better through the exits this time. Both of these guys making mistakes is going to bring Ahmed back into this as well, and they fight for 4th. NWR currently 7th in Lobby B. Yeesh. Honkers is not doing the work. I don't know whether, don't know what the pit lane strategy is looking like in that lobby, so don't know whether or not that's a true 7th. We got Panic Potato right on the back of Mortal. Just trying to find his way through, trying to find his way onto the back of the Viper, and that'll open the door. That will definitely open the door. But the Viper's going to have a good exit. This is going to be side by side the entire way down the straight. The Viper still has more straight line speed. If he can keep himself intact. No, he cannot. I was about to say if he can keep himself to the inside. Mortal made another error. Back-to-back straight chicanes. Back-to-back errors from the Viper. And Panic Potato will take 4th back. Ahmed's going to have a real good shot at Mortal as well. Compounding mistakes there from Mortal. That didn't look much better from Panic Potato. The compounding mistakes from Mortal has handed the South African a position back. We'll see if Mortal's got it in him to try and take that position again. Later, oh, that's not good. That's not a good entrance at all. I was about to say, that's not where you want to be in terms of the World Championship game, because Mortal's just going to take advantage of that. That is a mistake and a half from Panic Potato. I don't really think he's going to have too much against him from Ahmed in turn 1 and 2 and 3, sorry. But, yeah, that was a costly error from both drivers, realistically, and in the sectors in which they made them in. One made it in Sector 2, the other one in Sector 3, but it kind of just flip-flopped the positions for a couple of seconds there. Ahmed realistically driving the best of the 3 at the moment, yet he's stuck on the back of them. Looks like a very good exit for Ahmed. He's in a very good position here. He's going to get himself alongside as they head into the chicane. He's got himself enough alongside. He got himself more than enough alongside, and then Panic Potato gets crowded out. And Ahmed had the inside line and got himself ahead as well. Up in the 5th for Ahmed, Mortal next in line. That one error from Panic Potato at the end of the last start, that entrance into the World Championship chicane is going to cost him a decent chunk of time at this point. He's now lost 2 positions total. And Mortal is fairly easily driving away in the distance. Problem Ahmed's got is he's got to go onto a medium tyre at some point. Panic Potato's just trying to keep himself involved. Opiolu is still there with Astro. Nothing has changed here. Keplero slamming the wall just a little bit. Avoided damage. Jensen is still there and thereabouts as well. Opiolu's picked up half a second. All of that time he's been trying to get an advantage over Astro has just been worked away. Astro's going to get a little bit of breathing room. The real question is Opiolu going to stay ahead of Kepler and Jensen. Jensen had a quick look at Kepler down into turn 2. But realistically no prospect of making that work. Inkyo 2.3 seconds off the back of these four, so has dropped off just a little bit. Iron 5.8 off the back of Inkyo. He's ahead of Berigod, he's ahead of Latari, and he's ahead of Saitan as well, who has had a really, really troublesome medium stint. The soft stint was looking good for him. Honestly, it's kind of fallen away since then. BX has had problems. BX has had a lot of problems. Oh, he got damage to the front, or had damage to the front. Alessandro is up in a second. And Aura now has a 10-second advantage. Wow. Okay, so BX has had problems. A 46.8 on the last lap, that will signify a really big error. So a spin of some sort from BX. Gift Alessandro a potential second now then. ITM in for a good haul of points. Kepler in the top 8. Alessandro in the top 2. Not entirely sure where the third driver is. I don't know. I don't think he's in this lobby. We'll see how he's doing later on. Inkyo getting a little bit sideways down the Citroen. Have to do a lot now. The key catch back up to the group. Opiel, who has actually in fact dropped behind Kepler and Jensen. Jensen getting in front of Kepler now as well, so Jensen back up into 7th. Astro's pit as well, which means that that Panic Potato is the next car up, 8.5 seconds in front. That is not the greatest of corners from Jensen, I don't think. Either way, Kepler is still too far away to do anything about it. Now currently about 7 tenths of a second. A good exit will put him in and around that GTR 13. It's not really having the greatest time in the world. Around Montreal, the front of the car, the back of the car has got scraped all over it. As they head down the back straight into the wall of championship chicane. Panic Potato is in. Jensen is going to follow him. Jensen's going to follow him here. Into the pits he goes. It's I think there was another pit there as well. Opielu, yeah, into the pits. Follow him in. He had a lot more fuel than Jensen did. Inkyo and Kepler stayed out for at least one more lap each. Iron is 2.3 off the back of Inkyo right now. I assume there's going to be this is his third set of softs, I think, Iron. Oh no, it's his second set of softs. He had 3 laps on the mediums. Still going to have to pit again. Now this is going to get very interesting then. I'm not entirely sure what people's plans are. Ahmed is still right behind Mortal, really testing the limits here. Aura into the pits. Onto another set of softs. Alessandro into the pits as well. BX jumping in as well. So if Mortal's not staying out, is Ahmed staying out? Potentially. Got a lot more fuel than the rest of the grid. Is he going to like to stay out one more? He is. He's going to turn it into the World Championship chicane. Is he going to have the lead of the race here? Is Aura getting out? Aura is getting out. So Aura will assume the lead of the race. I think Ahmed's going to beat the rest of them out. Alessandro BX put the exact same amount of percentage in. There's Alessandro X in the pit lane now. So Ahmed is going to be in second place. Problem is for Ahmed is that he has a medium stint coming up at some point. There is 17 to the end. Something tells me the rest of the group are going to the end from here. They all pitted roughly around about 12. They all then elected to go in about 29 or 20 or 29. So they're going to all just try and go as close to the end as they possibly can, if not the end for the rest of the group. then becomes interesting for Ahmed, because if you go now, you pit at the end of this lap, which you probably have to because of the fuel. If you go mediums to the end, because that is a very, very, very long medium stint. That is a 17 lap medium stint. I don't really think there's a lot of going to be able to do here. That would be potentially harmful for anything going for his race if he is going to go 17 to the end here. It'd be 16 to the end potentially. It's 18 to the end for everyone else, 17 to the end for Ahmed, who is not in the pits actually. He stayed out another lap. I don't know he had enough fuel to do that. That's a very close. That'll be very tight on the fuel. Or as a 10-second advantage, 9.5-second advantage rather, to Alessandro, who's currently in net P2. Inkyo is into the pits now. Iron is out there. Iron is currently in 5th, but the problem is, he's got to pit again. That's going to be a problem, given the fact that Alessandro's pit, Aura's pit, BX's pit, Mortal's pit, Panic Potato behind him's pit, Inkyo's in the pits right now. Kepler's pit on the lap prior. I think Opiolu pit as well. Yep, everyone has started to pit, so Iron's going to drop a long way back. Jensen's legitimately in 11th right now. He is currently ahead of Astro though, even if it is by a minute amount. The Saitam is very much at the back of the grid. He has had a rough medium stint. I think that's Latari in front of him, so he could potentially fight here for 14th. Any points is better than no points, I'll tell you that much. So he could try and fight Latari here. He's going to have to put a little bit, he's going to have to get some laps down though, Saitam. Berrigod's quite handsomely away from that than Astro and Jensen. They're going to have to fight a little bit harder to get a lot to get more points for their teams this week. Alessandro's left! No! Alessandro, I think it's just DC'd! No! Oh my god! ITM could not be much more lucky if they tried. That might have been their first podium. I don't actually know if they finished on the podium before. I don't know if Alessandro's made it. Oh, he's going to be heartbroken. It'll give everyone else an extra position. That is... Ouch! Oh, that is incredibly unfortunate. Yeah, that's... I can't imagine that. Why you got that reaction in Alessandro. That is... Oh, that is so unfortunate. Wow. Cameron disconnected earlier from Lobby B as well. Leash. That sucks. Surprisingly, I mean, it's not only two. We usually do have one or two over the course of a week. It was going incredible. It was a gifted P2. It was about as P2 was ever going to get. BX's mistake just handed it on a silver platter to Ali to get the P2. That would have been a massive haul of points. That's going to suck for ITM. That's what that is. I wonder where the extra points a second, the close to 60 points I think it is, would have actually attributed them. He's gonna get extra points for the fastest lap if there's any solace whatsoever, unless Aura's gonna take that from him. Wow. Ahmed did go to mediums. Mortal. All this has done is handed Project Platypus a 2-3. Ouch! I guess for title purposes this is an interesting scenario, but That's going to suck for ITM. I wonder if that's going to be the difference between top 5 and not top 5 by the end of the year. End of the season, I guess. Alright, Panic Potato trying to go after Ahmed. 2.1 seconds split those. I reckon if you handed Panic Potato 5th before this race happened, that would have been, he would have snatched your hand off. TNR going to get another load of points as a result of Panic Potato. See if there's going to be anything in it for him to try and get top 4. I see, yeah, the gap between Kepler and Iron, the answer is 1.5 seconds. Iron currently the highest placed NWR driver at the moment, which is a sentence I definitely didn't think I'd be saying today. Made the late change to put the penalty, the qualifying ban on Monkus's back. I don't know if he could get, it's going to be interesting to see him try and get P5. Panic Potato is on a soft tyre. I don't think I can get anywhere near a P5. Definitely get P6. He's got a little bit more fuel in, a little bit better tyres than Kepler. He certainly isn't going to get P5. This would require a spin. He is closing in second by second on the group though. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how he got the 3-stop to work here, to be honest with you. I think he got away with a bunch of spins, to be completely honest with you. Everyone else has big carnage around each other. Jensen in P10. NWR. Yeah, but Ahmed is, yeah. Will. Got a 12-second gap to cover. I mean, that is doable. I somehow don't think Ahmed's even thinking of him at the moment, though. Yeah, I was about to say, Jensen has died God knows how many times in this race. Piolu, yeah, is catching as well. I wonder if there's going to be... I think these three are going to be stuck together for the entire rest of the race. So the interesting question is how quick are they going to catch up to the group ahead? Definitely going to catch Panic Potato, but if Ahmed is going to fall off at any point, then that's going to be the one that they're going to look at. Currently 6th place for Kepler. Would have been 7th had his teammate not DC'd. Would have been a massive haul of points for ITM. May have actually put them in a position outside to be the highest scored team outside of Project Platypus. Could have had well and truly a great start to February. Oh, that didn't look great buying that. That looked a little bit high. Got himself a little bit off the ground, but he is still in and around Kepler. He got himself within the second. Opiola is dropping off the back of him. More being handed a podium he would never have expected. Oh, Ahmed getting a little bit sketchy on the exit of the Wall of Champions. Panic Potato is hunting him down. 7.7 to Mortal ahead. The gap's out in first and second. They're in their own little world, first and second right now. I don't even think a spin might take them out of those positions. Panic Potato's going to have a good run at Ahmed on this lap. We'll keep an eye out on this because Ahmed's going to have to defend at some point on this lap. We have seen though that the medium tyres haven't been too worse for wear in this race, especially when having to defend. That didn't look great for Panic Potato. It looked a little bit out of sorts. I wonder where the opportunity is going to arise for him. He's going to have to be cornering. He's going into this with the fresher tyre, with the softer compounded tyre. Going to have to out-corner Ahmed at some point. Ferrari and the Merc not too dissimilar in terms of how they drive. Panic Potato's got a far better corner there, though. A far better corner there. Ahmed slant the wall just a little bit. No damage for him, but Panic Potato is well and truly on the back. Well and truly got a chance to attack now. The question is will he pull the trigger down into the wall of champions? The answer is no. You'll stay behind him for now. A good exit here will give him an opportunity into turn 1. But the problem is you're kind of banking on that good exit, and he did not get it. Did not get that exit in the slightest, and now he's going to have to sit behind Ahmed for just a little bit longer. You have to sit and hope that gap opens up for him. Here comes Iron on the outside of Kepler at turn 2, and then the inside of 3, and Iron had got him. Iron had got him. Iron, sorry. I guess that's how you say it. It's close. Kepler has just been overtaken then by the Dutchman. Up in the 6th for NWR, saving a really bad day at the office for that team, that's a certain. For a team that doesn't get very many of them, I think Iron is pulling off a pretty good save here. Jensen is in 10th. He's going after Inkyo, who's currently in 9th. Astro's still there and thereabouts, trying to fight his way through as well. Jensen looking to wave past the Citroen. Doesn't find it there. Potentially have to find it by the time we hit the end of this straight. There is still 10 laps left, but if you want to get closer to the group in front, he has to pass this blockade, which has been the Citroen. It's been a Citroen blockade the entire night. I think he's done a good job for Live Racing Cabin. The only one to make it to Lobby A, and he's put in a somewhat decent showing for himself. First time in his 4 seasons. He is doing a good job at holding the reigning 1/3 of the reigning champions at bay. Astro is there behind, then it's Beragos after that. Lotari and Saitam are still fighting, as Saitam is trying to avoid coming last on track. Technically, Alessandro takes 15th here. Which is gonna suck. Alessandro taking 15th is... If that's not a gut punch, I don't know what is, to be completely honest with you. Saitam behind the Lotari for now. Still, Panic Potato on the back of Ahmed as well. Ahmed is just doing everything he needs to do right now. Doing everything he needs to do just to hold himself in 4th, because the longer this goes on, the worse it gets for everyone behind, because if Panic Potato can't get by, then guess what? Iron ain't getting by either. In that case, now will Kepler, now will Opiolo. Here comes Panic Potato to the inside. It's going to happen eventually. Is it going to happen into the wall of champions? No, Panic Potato backs out of it. A good exit is what he's got, though. Ahmed looked all over the place. It looks sketchy. Left, right, and centre. He's going to get the inside of turn 2. The problem is the inside of turn 2 is the outside of turn 3. Ahmed has gone a little bit deep. Problem is, Panic Potato's going to have one hell of an exit. Oh, he almost got it. He almost got that one hell of an exit, but he slid the car. But he has still got advantage, and he's ahead of Ahmed after all that. I'm not entirely sure how Panic Potato kept that in check, but he kept the car around. And now we've got the position as well, up in a 4th. That'll go on the highlight reel for TNR, that'll tell you that much. Continue on, Panic Potato should be able to drive away now. He already has broke that second gap. Not going to catch Mortal. Mortal 11 seconds up the road. All top three very much set in stone now. Iron's got a half-second penalty, which will bring him somewhat closer to Kepler again. He's not really going to do too much damage. Ahmed now 5.3 in front of the Dutchman. The Dutchman definitely has a chance at Ahmed here. Top 5 finish is definitely in the cards. He's going to give up a little bit of time when he hits this penalty line, though. How close is he going to get to Kepler? Is Kepler going to get behind? Doesn't look like very, because Kepler was already losing time quite heavily off the back of Iron in the first place. Oh, that's a wall. Looked like he snapped his car into the wall there. And now having a little bit more time back. He just made his life a little bit more difficult, did he there, the Dutchman? He's going to have to get himself... Well, he's got about 8 laps now to catch the 6 seconds he needs to Ahmed. Doesn't need to be a second a lap, but the problem is he needs to pass him as well. And we've seen so far today that passing a medium tyre car is not an easy task. It requires a mistake of some description. Alessandro still has the fastest lap. Iron just put up a purple sector. And if you thought that the DC with a kick in the boards, it'll be an extra kick in the boards if Iron takes the fastest lap off of Alessandro here. Opiolu is well off the back now as Jensen is up into 9th. Inkyo has been caught. Astro not really putting much of a threat up. Satam is still at the back as well. Panic has got 2.2 seconds clear of Ahmed straight away. Ahmed is going to be in trouble. Going to be in a lot of trouble here. I wonder how quickly it's going to be that Ahmed gets caught. The top 5 for NWR after this day, they would take that and run. It's not been a good day at all, but if your worst day is the top 5, then I think you can take that. I think you'll be okay with that, to be completely honest with you. If they're on the day that your worst driver, the worst driver of the 3 ends up being in 6th place or in 5th place, and somehow scoring the most points, you're gonna have to question that. But at the same time, you'll take it if he can recover well, like he has done. The undercuts have worked fairly well for him. I don't think you can complain too much. They haven't gone well elsewhere though. 4.3 seconds to the back of Opiolu is not going to happen for Jensen. Saitan still on the back of Latari, nothing really changing there. Iron now 3.3 off the back of Ahmed. Last lap 35.3, 0.3 of a second off the fastest lap of the race so far. Kepler not really hanging with him anymore. I wonder if there's going to be anything in this for Iron come the end of this race. The clock is ticking. It is ticking away, and it's ticking away fairly quickly, but the problem is that... Oh! And that's a mistake! You can tell it was going to happen! Oh, you can tell it was going to happen as soon as he hit the curb on the inside of the chicane! And there's a mistake from Iron! Oh, Jesus Christ! And what has been a bad day for NWR has somehow just got worse. It's great news for Cap. That's about as good of a news as Cap could have got there with the wall banging there from Iron. That he never looked in control of the car in that chicane. It might have been Jensen. He is back behind Dinkio again. If it is Jensen, then that's awful. That's an awful turn of events for NWR in the space of 2 corners. It looks like Jensen has dropped back behind Inkyo. It would be good to read and that he did make a mistake. Even though I had some version of a penalty that dropped him back. We'll wait and see a little bit more on these two. Jensen's got a far better exit than Inkyo did out that corner. Neither of them were great. Inkyo's going to have to do some defending here. He's going to have to do some defending here. Jensen! Oh, they both got deep! They both got deep. Astro should be able to have this one for him, potentially. If these two are going to keep making that kind of mistake. Well, the champion is claiming a lot more than the death chicane there. That's a certain. Inkyo still ahead of Jensen. That didn't look great for Jensen either. But he is still alive. They seem to have got rid of the Astro problem for now. Doesn't look like anyone back here was in the wall the wrong way. Jensen had been dropped a position. Inkyo was behind him. The only person that could have lost one. Iron is still trying to fight back against Kepler now, and any damage that could have been done to Ahmed is definitely not being done now. Ahmed is going to be more than safe in fifth. Jensen's car has had a bad day. It's had a bad day. It's never gonna want to drive here again. And after this one, Kepler's car didn't look much better at the front, on the front. If I'm completely honest with you, can't imagine Irons is looking for much better in terms of wear either. You can see the scrapes all over the front of his car. Opiolo is not going to get anywhere near these two. Those two are going to be safe in 6th and 7th. The real question is which order they're going to fall in at the end of this. Two and a half seconds separate Kepler and Iron. Iron into the inside, looks for a second. Nope, not going to happen. I don't think it was a mistake for Ahmed. No, it wasn't a mistake for Ahmed. He's just on medium tyres. He is slowly getting caught by Kepler. Maybe it was a mistake, but maybe it was a big one. It's still not going to do too much damage to him, to be completely honest with you. Kepler and Iron are fighting too much to really make any sort of overtakes, even if they did get close enough to the Bodnian. Yeah, he's very much just plodding along at this point. I think the definition of doing what you have to, you look back and it has Ahmed's medium tyres staring you back in the face. Again, doesn't look too clean for Kepler there either. That's going to put him in problem territory here against the Z4. Is there an overtake coming for that Z4? The acceleration on that car is insane. The acceleration on the Viper is not quite matching it, but it's about as good of a car to take it on as you're going to get. That and the Citroen. Oh, that didn't look good. That looked like a mess from Kepler, a little bit deep. Still ahead. And gapping ever so slightly. It's a decent exit from Kepler, who keeps him alive for 6th place right now. Ahmed is now within 3 seconds of the two cars we're watching, so they are catching at quite a rate, but they're not going to catch quick enough to make overtakes. If I'm completely honest with you, I don't see how that happens. Unless there's a mistake. Looks like Kepler is still ahead of Iron for now. They go down towards turn 1. Iron is right on the back of the Italian. The Italian has elected to go to the inside of turn 2 for some reason. I don't know why you would ever do that. And this is going to be the problem for him now. He's got the outside lane, but the problem is that inside of turn 3, it's still turned into the inside in this chicane as well. And now they're side by side in this chicane. Kepler just about hangs on, but it's another exit for the Z4. And they're still side by side. Into another chicane they go. Still, I think Kepler might just about have it. Oh, he did, but he made a mistake. He got too much on the traction, and Iron's going to get through. Kepler had the position, but it was a blunder. They allowed the Dutchman through. With a couple laps left to go, they are not catching Ahmed in any way, shape or form. There was just blunder after blunder after blunder. That is, yeah, the Ahmed is well and truly P5 now. Well and truly P5, not even close. Ahmed gaining a couple of seconds there has just very much secured that in place. And Two Kingdoms will be happy with that. Survived a little bit of pressure here from Iron, a little bit of pressure from Kepler. Kepler needs another Iron mistake now to get himself back into the top 6 after these two basically traded mistakes for the last God knows how many laps, 3 or 4 at the very least. They were just trading one mistake after another. Well and truly safe now. Iron looked to threaten it earlier on, but he's not going to threaten it now. Would have to do one hell of a lap to threaten it from here. Dot 3 still very much as they were. Paddy Potato in his own little world as well. Same for Ahmed. These two close enough for whether one mistake is enough to switch these two's positions back. Oh, the mistake is going to come from Kepler though, and that might seal the position for Iron. That might seal 6th place. NWR only in 3rd in Lobby B. They're not doing as well as they could have in the lobby with Monkus either. But they are not going to look back on fondly, I'll tell you that much. Kepler is not going to be able to hang on to the back of Iron anymore. That dead 4 on its acceleration is still better than the Viper. It's going to require a mistake on this final lap for Kepler to get 6th place back. Opiolu is in his own little world in 8th. Jensen 2.2 seconds off the back of Inkyo. He is not having a day to remember. 39.4 on the last lap. It's not good to see. Astro not going to get him. Yes, it does change. Vickers, it changes based on the top 15. We do 3 separate lobbies of qualifying. So Lobby A, Lobby B, Lobby C. Everyone is on an even playing field. We take the top 15 times across the 3 lobbies and they join us here. This is what you are watching. The top 15 times across all of the grids. Then the B and C are separate based on times, but they are equal in measure. So that's how that is worked out. Saitam is... Oh, Latari's at the back now. Latari dropped to 14th. Saitam's up into 13th and charging Berrigod's down. That's interesting as Aura come to the line and it's going to go back to back. Aero GT win their first race last week. This one, a gift. And he wins. Aura wins in Canada. Wins in Seaside last week. Takes it in Croatia. Takes it in Canada, and Aero GT have gone back to back. BX gets himself in 2nd. Mortal's going to get himself in 3rd, and Project Platypus are going to be the team to look at the end of the day. They are going to be the big winners, 100%. But Aura takes it back to back, and as soon as it rains, it pours for Aero GT. Bear in mind, the first 2 weeks were won by an NWR car. The second 2 weeks, week 3 and week 4, back to back for Aero GT. Panic Potato will get himself over in 4th. Ahmed's still 3 seconds clear in 5th. As Iron ends up in 6th, which is the best result for NWR today. It looks like Kepler ran out of fuel to boot. Opiolo in 8th is a good day for Terra. Inkyo in 9th has beaten out Jensen, who's got a half-second penalty. That'll turn into a 4-second penalty. He'll just about survive Astra in the end. Berrigoz is going to have to survive a last-ditch attempt from Saitam. A last-ditch attempt from Saitam to try and snatch something. And he can't. Berrigoz holds on to 12th. Saitam in 13th. Latari in 14th. And Alessandro wraps out the grid after DCing 20 laps ago. Panic with a P4 in that lobby, he would have ripped your arm off at the beginning of the day. I'm 100% sure of that. So you get that. Alessandro with the fastest lap of the day. I can't save the lobby, so if you are in lobby A and want to save the lobby for whatever reason, please do now. Please do save the lobby before you leave. If you wish to do anything with any in terms of reporting, if you in terms of just highlights or any Instagram pages or anything of that nature, please do put yourself in a position to save the lobby replay. But for everyone in stream, please do not go anywhere. Do not go anywhere, because we have one more thing to take care of. And one more thing to take care of today. If someone can confirm to me Lobby B and Lobby C are roughly done, if they have the ability to do so, I will put in the I will get ready to do the calendar here then. So we are going to do a calendar reveal for next season's esports. There will be a tweet going out as soon as I can immediately after this stream, and there will be an ALR an Instagram post on the official ALR channel that will also detail the calendar. Also tag some teams that I actually personally want to try and reach out to. Heat crap wins. Jesus Christ. Fair enough. But yeah. I'm going to be trying to get a hold of a couple of teams I personally want to try and invite on recommendation from a couple of drivers in this lobby. I hope those who are new to the channel have subscribed, have liked the video, or joined the Discord if you wanted to join the Discord, get involved with the league as a whole, always accepting new people in, regardless of who you are, what speed you are. But yeah, whilst we wait for the last lap to finish up in Lobby B, the lap to end his stream and to hopefully to send him over here. I will now put in Esports chat that I'm announcing the calendar. Alright. I just put in the chat that we're going to do the calendar reveal, so we will wait a second for people to elect to join us or not. We'll give it, what, maybe about 50 to about 57 on my watch, about 90 seconds, and then I will start reeling stuff off of the calendar. Fastest lap who was in Lobby B with a 32.1. How? A 32? Are you sure? I cannot imagine a 32.1 will count. Let's see if there's something been put in the chat about it. Yeah, he's not going to get that count. Yeah, no, that's not going to count. No, it's because he cut the final corner, and for some reason on Canada, if you cut the final corner, it doesn't take your lap time away. It gives you the penalty, but it doesn't take your lap time away. Which is how he got the 32.1. It's not going to stand. I can tell you that much right now. If there's people with the fastest lap who have actually cut the line, their fastest lap will, the next fastest lap in the race will take the points. We'll have to figure that out as we go along. We might have to check a couple of lobby replays to sort that one out. The fastest lap in Lobby C was a 35.9, and that was for Syndra. Taz won the lobby. It looked like a 1.34 in Lobby C for Queen's Head, which is usually a good sign for them. Alright, we've given them enough time. We've gone into 57. So, that being said, let's go through what will be Season 9's calendar. Everyone ready for some calendar reveal? I am. So, in terms of the calendar, we will be starting next season on the 29th of March. 29th of March 2026. We will be starting with the full layout of Spa. This will be 29 laps, and it will be done in early morning. Round 2 is 44 laps around Autopolis in the late morning on the 5th of April. On the 12th of April, we have Road Atlanta. That will be running on the afternoon time in the game and will last for 50 laps. We will then take a week's break on the 19th of April, purely because every single person who actually runs the esports side of the league is in Donington for the ALR meetup. If you want to go to that, please message and chat. We'll sort something out for that, but we are in Donington, so we will not be here. So we are taking a break for that week. We will then return on the 26th, in which we will do Fuji's short course layout. That will be 45 laps, and we run in evening time on the game. Then round 5 will be on the 3rd of May, and that will be Sardinia B reverse layout for 52 laps at sunset. We will then round out the first 6 weeks, so the final week of the so-called 15 teams that we would have is at Yas Marina. So this will be Esports' first trip around the track, the second track added in Spec 3. And then for the top 5 teams, so round 7 and 8, the double points races are Trial Mountain Reverse for 56 laps at night time, and then the Nürburgring Nordschleife 24 hours for 12 laps with a 24-hour time cycle. That, if you want to replay that, just take that last bit of the stream, clip it, whatever you want to do, is your calendar for Season 9. There's Spa, Autopolis, Atlanta, Fuji, Sardinia B, Yas Marina, Trail Mountain, and the Nordschleife. So, with that being said, I appreciate everyone joining us. I assume we're going to get a lot of reaction in the chat and everything really in due course. But I will see you guys same time, same place next week, 8 o'clock UK, Sunday, the 8th of February on the ALR YouTube channel for week 5. Peace.